can be sure that when this bill comes again before the Commons next spring, that it will be passed. And we will have home rule in Ireland as sure as night follows day.
My friend, I must admit that this is a day that I hope you'll never see. Why, I'd hoped that the quality of our argument, the strength of our position, never mind the unbreakable ties of blood and religion. Why, I had thought all of this would have rendered this nefarious conspiracy as dead as a stone. Why, that Bonner Law as conservatives, that even this government would come to understand that home rule without Belfast is nonsense, and Redmond will not accept it without Ulster. Ah well, here we must take our stand.
We can do no other.
And I must say, I'm happy enough about that. Because now, I will no longer have to speak to political audiences in order to convince. Now, I will only speak to those who are prepared to fight.
Good man, Carson. We have demonstrated in our hundreds of thousands our absolute resolve never to yield up our citizenship, and still this bill will go through. I think we've always known in our hearts that our resistance to be successful must eventually come to armed resistance.
Exactly, Major Crawford, exactly. The men that we can rely on now are not those who cheer, but those who drill.
Yes. Well, as to that, by the end of last year, every county in Ireland, in Ulster, had organising committees for the force in place. Among them counties even far ahead of Belfast in their fighting spirit and organisation. I think of Tyrone, Monaghan. Our brethren who came out in such numbers to put their names to the covenant have followed through on that pledge in their hundreds. Even in parts of Armagh, where our people are outnumbered, surrounded, I think of Cullyhanna, Crossmaglen. Even here our people are gathering together and to drill and prepare. Donegal volunteers.
Aha, Lord Leitrim's men, eh?
They've been smuggling armaments regularly from Glasgow aboard the Ganymore.
Ah, but Crawford, it's only a matter of time before Customs puts a stop to that traffic.
And you're right, Carson. Well, they haven't caught him yet. But you're right. That supply is piecemeal, uncertain, time-consuming. Our task now is to draw together under the single banner of the Ulster Volunteer Force all those who, by signing the covenant, pledge themselves to use all means necessary to defeat the Home Rule conspiracy. And to create a force fully equipped and imbued with a professional and military outlook, capable of taking and holding the field against any enemy.
And quickly, Crawford, quickly. We've committed ourselves to establishing a force of, what, 100,000 men. Now, I have no question as to the quality of the recruits, but do we have enough?
Well, Craig informs me that that work is well underway. In some areas, it's simply a matter of incorporating existing units under different names. The Young Citizens Volunteers, Trimble's, Enniskill and Horse. And we will be encouraging every Unionist club and Orange Lodge to form UVF units. We will have the numbers, Carson, but numbers count for nothing without organisation, leadership and arms.
Yes, leadership, Carson. Yeah, leadership. Lieutenant General Richardson, he is taking up command in June, is he not? Yes, and he will be organising the force along the lines of the regular army.
But modified as necessary to take account of our own needs and resources.
Yes. But, and the women's, of course, the Unionist Council, they have committed themselves to establishing a medical and nursing.
Yes, but we will organise our force into squadrons, battalions, companies.
Yes.
Half companies. We will create special units. Our spearhead will be the Special Service Force. Trained men fully equipped with rifle, ammunition, rations. Volunteers drawn from each battalion who undertake to mobilise at a moment's notice when called upon. Our military corps will be organised in squadrons, capable of transporting a full company to any point and with a rapidity that will astonish any enemy.
This is splendid, Major Crawford, our very own motorised unit. What a remarkable achievement.
Unique indeed, I believe. I think also of our signalling and dispatch riding corps. We shall have no fear of our communications falling into the hands of the enemy. Secure messages can be relayed to any unit within a matter of hours.
Excellent. Excellent. And of course, all of this and the nursing corps, it's mind-blowing stuff. We've really got it together.
We've excelled ourselves, but none of this should gloss our faults. Truancy is a problem in some areas. Some volunteers feel the sting of being called mere paper soldiers, a theatrical farce.
Yes, but don't worry about that, Prophet. We have stood up to the catcalls of the radical press and the sneers of the spineless.
Edward, I merely make the point that it requires talent, energy and genius to create an effective army from disparate local militias.
Of course, but we have no shortage of genius or of effort. It's time we lack.
It's arms. Arms, Edward. Above all else, we require the revolvers, rifles, the light and heavy ordnance that will enable our men to prevail against any enemy. But I promise, with God's grace, I shall have good news on that front. On the day that Home Rule becomes law, our provisional government will take its place in the City Hall, and it will be protected by the finest fighting force on these islands.
Well, what do you imagine, Edward?
I don't imagine, Carson. Churchill will send his gunboats into Belfast Lough and he will shell our government. He will call the regular army north from the Curragh.
No. He wouldn't do that. They wouldn't come. They will never open fire on their own kin.
He will. I would if I were in his position. But whether they come or not, that is another question. But we will be prepared. How long will it be before the nationalists themselves are armed and organised to enforce the lawful decision of Parliament? We will have civil war in Ireland, Edward. And make no mistake, every street and town in Ulster has its nest of Home Rule sympathisers and radical agitators. Our men will face an enemy that is among them and all around them. Stern and unrelenting action will be called for, just such as that action undertaken by our brethren in the shipyards last July.
Oh, Fred, it's my earnest prayer that it will never come to civil war.
Amen, I say. Ulster is under siege, Edward. Then are we not the very boys who know how to lift a siege?
Indeed, we've done it before.